Hey, it's GAYLE King, and I'm here with another video today. Um, I'm pretty sure some of you guys have heard about this whole R. Kelly interview that he did with GAYLE, what's her name, King? Um, yeah, King. Um, so you guys, uh, in this channel, I'm kind of all over the place because I've seen things on all different levels, a lot of different levels over the years, and I've done research and I've looked heavily into these things, and I also subscribe to other channels that look deep into these situations. Um, and I think that I ran across the interview earlier and I watched a couple seconds of it and I said, you know what, this will be a good time to do a video because like there's a lot of like craftiness and witchcraft and just mind control going on with people in the world, period, when it comes to your mainstream media, your mainstream news, your entertainment, your entertainers, um, your education system, um, everything that you think you know and everything that you consume on a daily basis is not there for your pleasure. It's there for to keep you in a certain mood, or mindset for generation after generation. So they've studied the mind, they know how you think, they know our mentality, and there's certain people that they need to uh, manipulate at certain times with their media, and then there's other people they need to manipulate at different times. But mainly it has to be the so-called black man and woman, which is really the American Indian in most cases. um, those people in particular are hit hardest when it comes to history and lies, when it comes to your programming that goes on, the testing, the different sterilization programs that's going on over the years with those particular people, using our the so-called entertainers or the stars that have been placed where they've been placed in order to keep you in a certain mind frame and state of thought. I remember a long time ago when people used to say, it's the music that's got our kids acting like this, and people that would still listen to music, they couldn't understand that, so they would fight back and say, oh, it's the parents. The parents have to be held accountable, blah blah blah. Yeah, you could do what you can to a certain extent, but these kids are going to grow up and they're going to do what they want to do, and you are a product of your environment. And I'm sorry, but the music and the things that we consume mentally have a huge effect on us, period. So I think I might have been even one of those people back then that might have been like, oh no, people need to pay attention to what their kids say. But it's literally impossible with this day and age and the information and the tools that they have to get to the things that they want to listen to and the things that they are gonna see and watch and subscribe to. So at the end of the day, these people need to be held accountable. I can't stand them. I can't stand the music industry anymore. I can't stand any of their movies, their TV shows. I only watch them for educational purpose and to pull things out that other people need to see so they can get that in their mindset. When it comes to materialism and purchasing all these unnecessary things that we don't need and all these brands and these name brands, I don't think I bought anything because it was a name brand in years. So once we understand that marching and all this other stuff and getting upset about R. Kelly and all these other entertainers that they're dragging through the ground. And I don't blame, and this is the thing. It doesn't matter to me either way, because if you're going to be in that entertainment industry, you're going to have to do some dirty stuff to get to the top. First of all, you're going to have to be attached some way to a bloodline, or you're going to be somebody that gets in there and you think you're getting something and they're just going to drag you through the mud and you're just not going to be able to recuperate from the things you go through trying to get to the top. So I say all that to say, R. Kelly is not innocent. I'm not saying he's innocent. What I'm saying is, even if he has been messing around with some young girls, he might have messed up and did that thing. He got caught. I don't know if that was on him on tape or not. I don't know really anything. I haven't watched the documentary. I won't waste my time watching the documentary. But I know how to read people and I know how to see signs and symbols and things. And I see the way that these people, I see the way that they use their bag of tricks. So all this is a distraction to me, but I am going to say something about it because I think it's going to show you guys a couple of things that you might not notice. Maybe you do. So Okay. Let's see. Here's the interview with GAYLE King and R. Kelly this morning. And we're just going to go freestyle with it.
His current relationship with two young women, 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage and 21-year-old Azriel Clary, live with him at his Chicago home. Their parents believe that the 52-year-old R&B singer has brainwashed their daughters. The Clarys' attorney released a statement calling Kelly a liar, manipulator, and sociopath. Later this morning, Savage's parents plan to hold a news conference addressing our interview. But here's what Kelly told us.
Now, I'm not sure the channel, so I'm pretty much really going to have to try to see if I can find the channel and link it in the thing below or whatever. But I just started watching this young man. I like his videos. I don't agree with... If I tell you to look at somebody's videos on this channel, don't think that even if I'm telling you something, don't believe what I say. Don't think exactly how I think. I'm here to have people open up their eyes. I'm here to plant seeds. I'm here to water seeds, and I'm here to have mine watered. Okay? So I'm not telling you what to think about these things. I'm not telling... Just because I bring something up doesn't mean I agree with it 100%, and so forth. But there is this young guy, and he does these videos, and he's really good with images, colors, and all these other Masonic things or whatever. And he, I think that he's really, I think he's really good. I think that a lot of things that he see, after they're brought to my attention, I can kind of see them, but it's because I'm already on that level when I'm looking at this stuff, because I'm really good with imagery and things like that as well. So if you notice, okay, let's just go back. I know y'all don't really want to, but he does his things with colors, and the blue and yellow and the gold and black that he brings up a lot in his videos. I see that a lot with this whole thing right here.
Later this morning, Savage's parents plan to hold
okay, that screen was just blue. They got all this blue. They got the one eye symbolism. And when I talk about Freemasonry, at one point in time, I was like, oh, it's all evil. It's this and that. I really don't really know who. I know that the first the first names for these temples were so-called African lodges. They weren't like Freemason lodges until later. And I know that Prince Hall was supposedly like an African man, and he was a Freemason. And I did some stuff like that on my page about this a while back, but new information comes in, old information goes out. And that's why I'm starting to do these videos, so that I can document this stuff a little bit better. So, yeah, I'm noticing the gold, the blue, the yellow, and then her blue eyes. And if you just look through this whole interview, you'll see a lot of those colors.
Here's what Kelly told us about the two young women. What is your relationship with them?
We got the black here too.
It's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, we have a relationship. It's real.
Okay.
And I know guys, like I've known guys all my life to have 5 or 6 women. Okay, so don't go there on me. Okay, because that's the truth.
The fact that they're much younger than you.
I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal. I just look at you're you, I'm me. Now, I don't know if you're married. I don't know. I don't know if you had a relationship. I don't know what I don't know. But one might be older than the other. One might be younger than the other. Okay? So I just look at legal. Okay? People. There are older men that like younger women.
Is that
there
true?
Are younger women that like older men.
Are you an older man that likes younger women?
I'm an older man that love all women.
Okay. Kelly says he met Joycelyn Savage.
Okay. So, yeah, he just about said it. I think that, I don't think he denied it even before, saying that he messed around with younger women, older women. Of course, he's trying to sugarcoat it by putting all women. But what I want you guys to know is this crucifying of so-called black entertainers is meant to be some type of it leads to some kind of distress in the so-called black community. It leads to some kind of distraction and interruption in energy. It keeps us on some kind of frequency. These people meant something to us before we knew what the industry really was. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but to me, they meant something to you growing up. This is a big part. Christmas is a big part of growing up. Things that I had to let go of in order to see a little bit more clearly, that people can't just understand why you won't participate in them anymore. And a lot of these people meant things. A lot of that stuff meant things, meant something. So it's going to cause some kind of post-traumatic stress or some kind of deep-rooted anxiety or something that is going to trigger within us when we see that you're trying to take another one of us down. But you have to realize that these people in Hollywood ain't necessarily you. They ain't never been for you. Now, whether all of them know it or not, some of them just puppets. Most of them just puppets. They can't wear what they want. They can't say what they want. They can't do what they want. And a lot of these things, they're a part of when it comes to deceiving the people. When it comes to deceiving the people, a lot of these people have something to do with it. And don't tell me no shit about no Oprah, because Oprah can spend all the time and the money she wants and go overseas to Africa and different places and put money into their schools and do all these things for these other nations. And can't none of these people come and do the same thing in Chicago, her own so-called hometown where she's at right now, or where she's lived over a long amount of time and where her show is. She can't do anything for any neighborhood there, but she'll go all the way to Africa just like everybody else will and do things for them. So you have to realize that some of these people, just because they look like you, they ain't you, they don't represent you, they're here for your downfall, they're here to be your distraction. Just like, not to say that this is exactly what it means, but it just reminds me of a portion. We just gonna stay out of that. I'm just going to tell you that they've been put here. The stars have been placed above you. Okay? And you're gazing at them all the time. You're worshiping them all the time. These people have been put there for signs and symbols and disruptions, and they've been put there for a reason. So just as long as you know that, let's keep it moving. But there is a like I said, Caucasian people can be caught doing these same things, but at some point in time, they let it die out. With your people, supposedly, okay? Because I don't know exactly how it works. They look like us, but that don't mean they is us all the way. Now, with your people, or the people that's supposed to represent you, they're going to take them down. Ain't going to be no man standing. You can't just pass away in peace and keep your royalties. You either have to be crucified, or like a lot of these older men, you look at them, they take on Caucasian or other European women as wives. That's why you see so many so-called black men, when they get older in Hollywood, they end up, by the time when they're about to die or leave this place, they might have started out with a black woman, but they end up with one of those other women. And that's done by design. They can't have those royalties being left with the people or with their descendants. They have to go into that bloodline. And this is how the so-called black people cannot keep any type of hereditary wealth or whatever you might want to call it. So,
after her father brought her to one of his concerts when she was 19.
I didn't go looking for a Jocelyn Savage. I was doing my show. He brought her and asked a friend of mine to put her on the stage with R. Kelly. Make sure she's on the stage.
Asriel Clary.
Now, I'm pretty sure this is true. And we got these parents. I'm about to look at a little bit of the clip of what they said this morning. But if you think that these parents is innocent in this whole thing, I'm just saying the whole thing is a distraction and this whole thing is a plot. Okay? But at the end of the day, to play with your emotions, but at the end of the day, just think about it. Think about it. He's making some points. I think that he knows what he's doing, but because he has a little bit of pride or he has something to do with his legacy, that's when he's getting upset. Because he's seeing that he knows he has to go through these things, these humiliation rituals, or whatever they claim them to be. So he gets upset when he really thinks about his legacy that's about to be wiped away. But we should be at the point, I don't care about his legacy or whatever. I ain't saying that that's what the thing is. But at this point, I want you to see what's going on for you to be able to see. And at this point in time, we should see that this is something that's reoccurring. So maybe some of this stuff is built on stuff. Maybe he just like young women, you know, and then they building on this other stuff to make him look even worse or whatever, to play off of everybody's emotion, because they know people, they pick with the people that we love, we so-called love the most. And I use loved past tense. But if you are a grown-ass man, and you know that this man was caught in a video with some young girl, and many people think that he was dating Aaliyah, or that he was dating Aaliyah and married to her, or whatever. All this shit is false. Nobody is married like you think they is in Hollywood. All these women can be sold off as sex slaves, sex beta kittens, and all these other things. If you want to know more about that, I'll try to put a link in the description for somebody that goes a little bit deeper into that. But don't think that relationships is what you think they is in Hollywood. This is why nobody stays together. This is why they move people around. They use their relationship in order to orchestrate things that they want to present to you. Okay? So, ain't no grown man gonna bring his daughter, that's a young lady, and put her on the stage and want her to have anything to do with R. Kelly unless you all about the money in the first damn place. You're not gonna bring her and put her on the stage and say you want her to do a damn thing with R. Kelly again. If you know his past with young women, why would you do that? And then you want me, just like R. Kelly want us to believe that he ain't been doing this. This dude want us to believe that you didn't get paid no money, or you wasn't sitting on some kind of income, or you wasn't sitting on some kind of dough for passing over your daughter. Maybe he didn't purchase her all the way outright, and I wouldn't doubt. I don't know, okay? But what I'm saying is that they were sitting on some kind of cash, and when he didn't want to pay them no more, this is what's going on. So
met Kelly at one of his concerts. Her parents say Kelly pulled the then 17-year-old on stage back in 2015. They say they had hoped that she would become Kelly's musical protege. Azriel Clary, what can you tell? What is your relationship with her?
Right now, I'm seeing her.
You were seeing her?
Yeah, she's 21. I'm seeing her.
She's 21.
Yeah.
But did you start seeing her at 17?
Absolutely not.
Did you have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Although her parents wanted me to.
No, her parents claim they have text messages that show that you had sex with her when she was 17.
Claim.
Now, this is the part to keep you running, to keep you looking for the next best thing, so you can see if these text messages are going to come out. Text message could be, there's a way that these people can make it that these text messages come up. But if they were text messages, why say that I have the text messages and not just show the damn text messages? Why not just show them? Why is people keep saying, oh, the dad says he has these? Show them. You saw at the beginning of the screen when they said what the dude said, they put it in quotation marks and said whatever, you know, this is what the lawyer said and this is what the family said. Do the same thing. Put the text messages up there. Okay? So.
And you did not have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not.
You are with two women right now. You love them. They say they love you. What kind of love is it that keeps these young women away from their families? Their families are saying,
these.
I'm talking right now about Jocelyn
because you
and
know
Azriel.
I'm going to answer your question.
What kind of love is that?
What kind of
And let's just, again, I'm sorry, y'all, but this is what I need to do with this video. What he said. What kind of love is it that keep you away from talking to your parents? I've been a teenager. I know teenagers, and I have a teenager. It can feel like when your kids get grown, especially 19, 20, and they living a life and they running around doing what they want to do, it can just seem like you don't talk to your kids for 6 months at a time. It can seem like they don't really need to call you no more. You can feel like abandoned or whatever at some point in time. I mean, maybe, I'm not saying for everybody. Some people talk to their parents every day. But I'm just saying, being a young kid, I probably could have cared less if I, really, as soon as I got up out of that house, if I seen my parents, I might have called to check on them, see how they was doing once in a while. But there was times when I could still do better. Today, I can still do better. I go a long time without talking to my parents. It's sad, but, it's true. It's a lot going on. So don't sit there and act like what kind of love is it. It could just be really basic, just young love. It could be basically that. and I'm not standing in his defense at all. I'm just saying, I see that these people use these questions to go over your head and get a certain response, even from the people that they're supposedly interviewing. I'm just showing you how they reach. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of mother will sell their daughter to a man?
Who did that?
How come it was okay for me to see them until they wasn't getting no money from it? Why would you take your daughter? If I were going to take my daughter and she's 19 years old to a 49-year-old icon, whatever, celebrity or R. Kelly concert or whoever it is, I'm not going to put her on the stage and leave her. I'm going to take her to the concert. Their father is more into my music and know about my music than.
And one more thing I want to say, don't even think for 1 minute that these celebrities don't sell their children and put their children on the chopping block and put their children on Front Street in order for people to come and pick their children up or to pick who, what, when, and where. Because if you don't know by now, the whole industry is corrupt. And just like that one dude said, they say a little bit of information, but they don't tell everything. It is running rampant. Hollywood is running rampant with child pedophilia. That's where it started. This is where the whole thing started. Yeah, I looked at this, I watched this documentary about Shirley Temple that made me throw up in my mouth. I used to love her, used to love her shows. I wanted my daughter to be like her. She had curly hair when she was little. And, you know, I really admired them shows, but it wasn't until I woke up and reevaluated some of the shit that was going on in the movies. And that's when I was able to see that this ain't what you think it is. And we promoting this shit and we just watching this all the time. And these filthy people behind the scenes in Hollywood that never get brought to light about what they're doing. They never will. They never will. They never will. R. Kelly know how far he can go with who he's really talking to and who he's really upset with that's coming for him. He know when to be quiet.
They do.
You're saying the parents handed their daughters, Azurel and Jocelyn, over to you? Is that what you're saying to us?
Absolutely. Are the cameras still
you
going?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I know you suggesting that the parents sold the daughters to him.
He is saying.
Okay, again, you got all this, and the way the guy goes into it with the duality that the blue and gold versus whatever other color it is. Like I said, I'll put it below, but they got it running rampant. They got it running rampant in this clip. Look at it, all on the floor. They got it running rampant today.
Yeah.
I know you suggesting that the parents sold the daughters to him.
He is saying that the parents are in it for the money as well.
I'm gonna tell you something. See how this whole thing been put up? It's nothing. None of this stuff is what you think it is. Look, she even got the gold, the blue watch face, her little gold thing, her hair. But this is not who or what you think it is either. I'm just going to leave it there until this weekend. When I'm talking about this, and they do it a lot with these media females or whoa men. I'm just saying, just look a little deeper when you're looking at things, but I'm not going to say nothing until I put my first video up about initially what I'm really speaking on.
He is saying that both sets of parents brought the daughters to him in hopes that they would work together and that the parents...
I'm trying to figure out if y'all can see that thing moving up in her neck, and you can see how a lot of these people, when they get older, even like Oprah and we thought they just had raspier voices when they were younger. Angela Bassett. It's a lot of them. If you listen to them now speaking, they have that really raspy something. And then previously, if you can see something there, and this this person is so small. There's no reason for her to have a skull this big because it kind of resembles a male skull. Once you wake up to this shit, it's on a whole nother level. It's just on a whole nother. It's on a whole nother level.
That maybe the daughters could work. I mean, he tells a very different story. I talked to Azrael's father the night before the interview. He very much believes that his daughter's been brainwashed. He says his daughter loves to sing, and that's how she got involved with R. Kelly. He says he has text messages that prove they had sex when she was 17. And so, you know.
Again, the text messages. So let's just go to this next thing here.
That's why he's doing that.
Let's see.
To buy your music. How do you think your music should sit with people?
Absolutely. I think they should. Although a lot of them may not. But like I said, I'm really not fighting for my career here. I'm fighting for my rights. And I'm fighting to have a relationship with my kids most of all more than anything. I want a relationship with my kids because I've missed a lot of years of their life. They love me. I love them.
And they want a relationship with you.
I bet you they do.
Yeah.
I bet my breath on it. You know, but they're pressured and I get it. They're pressured, so I get it. But I believe that's going to change in due time.
You have daughters. If your daughters called you and said that somebody is doing to them what the allegations are about you, would you be okay with that?
Let me tell you something. I'll be up in that mother, everything up. I had to bleep myself, but I would be everything.
If your daughters came to you and said, look, this guy is doing to me what the allegations are against you.
Then I would have to arrest myself after I did what I had to do.
You've been very candid that you are a sexual abuse survivor yourself.
Even though this goes on in Hollywood, I'm just telling you for sure. Look at them Smith kids and how Will be kissing them and his son in the mouth all the time. Look at, it's a lot of stuff that go on that if you aren't not on that level, you're not gonna see it. Hopefully one day y'all do see it. If you don't see it, you ain't gotta really comment on the video. You can just not watch it or not come back for more. I'm pretty sure there'll be somebody that don't like it and they might come back for more. Whatever. To each his own.
You've talked very candidly. You were molested from the ages of 7 to 13, 14. How do you think that has affected you?
It hasn't affected me at all. I mean, it has affected me in a way, though. Yeah. It affected me in this way. Anything that I've been through, that or any struggles I've had in my past, has affected my music. It has,
Has it affected your behavior?
Absolutely not. Using that.
When you say that you need help, do you think you need to go to therapy? Have you been to therapy?
Absolutely. At this point, I'm definitely talking about that.
About going?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it seems like, some...
Oh, my God. Therapy. Okay.
Say you might seem out of touch.
And what kind of therapy is we talking about? See, I was just going to go back to the video. But what kind of therapy we talking about? Y'all know about MK Ultra and I think it's MK Naomi. I'm just dropping keywords so you could go out. I mean, I don't want to speak too much on it. Channel is pretty new. I don't want to speak too much on what I'm really trying to say until I get a little further down the line. But I will drop things. I told y'all, Google is your best friend. YouTube is too. Don't never let nobody try to make you feel bad because you get your information from YouTube or memes. Information is information. And if you can double check it and make sure that it's something that was written in anyways, what the hell? We going through right now when we finding out so much information that even if it's written, then what? Even if it's written, then what? Even if it's Newton's theory, then what? Newton's theory is all of our truth. Do we know what Newton really did and who really was... came up with these theories? Do we really know what gravity is? Can anybody, even I digress, Tyson, can he come up with a theory? He still can't really explain it. He said it out of his own mouth. He can't explain to you. We know what it's supposed to be, but we can't really explain gravity to you. I'm just saying, y'all, we gotta just really pay attention. I mean, common sense, discernment, understanding. It's okay with me to believe that we're all just heavier than the damn air between our feet. And so our weight keeps us grounded when we walking on the damn ground. If the earth is moving and spinning at a certain miles per hour or whatever, I can't feel it. So these are the things that I'm okay with dying, not going with what everybody else is saying that these things particularly mean. Okay? What they say, their facts is not always my truth. I'm always going against the grain. From now on, that's the way I go. And it's been doing just fine for me.
To a lot of people.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, your perception of the charges against you. I know it's your side and it's your story, but you have a different perception that most of the world has about you.
No,
social media and on Twitter, he doesn't have a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and the thing is, you don't have these perceptions of him anyway. You have the information that mainstream media is going to make sure that you obtain. Try to look at. I started watching YouTube more a couple years back on my television instead of watching TV. Look, and I remember being able to look up something like a shooting or something, and right away I can see all the people that are telling the truth or breaking it down or showing a different way of looking at it, or showing calling it fake news and doing a breakdowns on it. If you go now and type in this particular thing right here, ever since about 6 months ago to maybe a year, whenever they did that little YouTube thing, if you notice, everybody, mainstream media then took over YouTube. You can't even really find the so-called conspiracy theories people doing, the videos on some of this stuff. It's CBS, NBC, and all these other whack news channels. They've taken up you got to go really do research or already know somebody that speak on these type of things in order to hear somebody right away. It's not like that it's listed anymore right there in your search. They're going to show you what they're going to show you. And the perception that we have of this whole thing has been given to us by them. So in that case, we're going to think what the hell they want us to think. You're not thinking anything that you want to think about any of these matters. Just know that. Whether it's a shooting, the perception that you're given is the perception that they want you to have. The unanswered questions are the ones they want you to keep so you can stay in tune. And all the other shit around it, again, it is all for you. And matter of fact, this weekend or sometime between now and this weekend, I want to do something. I watched a really good documentary on TV and mind control.
There are people who will say, oh, this is what I'm saying, the girls were lying or what have you. But by and large, what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is not a lot of people have sympathy for him. And even from some of the victims, the alleged victims, Geronda Page, she was featured in that docuseries and said that she met R. Kelly after he was acquitted.
Okay, I was going to say something about her, but I ain't going to say nothing about her too much. And again, there we go with that blue and that gold, the gold over here and the yellow and the bricks, Freemasonry. So like I said, I don't know if all these things mean negative things or if it's just signs and symbols or it's just something that once you know how they operate, you can see how they do these particular things and how the background and stuff is set up to catch your subconscious thinking. And I was going to say something about her, but I don't know. I can't really go there 100% yet. I can't go there. But I'm going to tell you something about the rest of these.
Started a sexual relationship with him when she was 16 years old. So she said on Twitter, I did not see R. Kelly. I didn't see my abuser. What I saw was a man that needs help. When you've been doing wrong for decades, she said.
Look, let me tell you one thing right now. We seen the side of her head or whatever. She was sitting in a different direction last time. If this look like a woman to you, a real female, natural born female with these double prong Adam's apple, this kind of crazy looking jaw, somewhat a small frame, but them ears is huge. The skull is massive on this person. It's almost bigger than the dude that's sitting right next to her. And that's not supposed to be. For this so-called little person in them big old feet. There are certain things that cannot be changed with hormones and surgery when it comes to transitioning. And once you see, you will see. It won't be able to go past you anymore. Once somebody opened up your eyes, or once you open up your eyes to it, this is the way it's going to be forever.
People around you make you feel that your actions are right. You tend to believe that you're doing no wrong. And then we also got a statement from Sparkle. Sparkle is the artist that R. Kelly used to work with. She was also featured in the docuseries. She plays a bigger role in this huge narrative because she was one of the first to speak out. She's the one that identified her niece as the one she saw him having sex with Aaliyah. Yeah. He didn't talk about that Aaliyah, the artist who he allegedly married when she was 15 years old, and later passed away. But it was fascinating.
I'm not that I know. I mean, I'm from Illinois, but I don't recall you being able to get married to anybody without some kind of consent. Again, that would just show again that somebody wanted something or some funds or something, and that's what got Aaliyah into his bed, because I don't think you can even, unless you get emancipated or if your parents give consent, you can't even get married at the age of 15. So, but when you're young, you listen to his music, you're not even really thinking about those particular types of facts. You're just going off of what the media says, and you're going off of what the hip hop magazines and BET says. You're not really going in, you know.
Remarkable interview. And I think everyone is just so shocked that it went on for so long. I mean, if you look at prior interviews where he's left, when it goes too deep, he gets Chicago.
They have these men on a hook, okay? And they have to find some way to have you defile yourself in order to have some type of control over you, in order to get you to bend and do the things that they want you to do.
We have much more of our interview with R. Kelly addressing his current relationship with two young.
Now,
are you an older man that likes younger women?
I'm an older man that love all women.
Okay. This is not where I was trying to go. I was trying to go to the point where he went kind of berserk.
When she was 17?
Absolutely not.
Of them, they say they love you.
To your question.
What kind of love is that?
What kind of father, daughter to a man, until they wasn't getting no money from it? To a 49-year-old icon, whatever, and leave her and know about my music than they do.
You're saying the parents handed their daughters, Azurel and Jocelyn, over to you? Is that what you're saying to us?
Absolutely.
Okay, hold on, y'all. I don't want to be whatever. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. Sorry. I'm using this girl's video, Ladies Night podcast. I just picked the first thing that wasn't related to like all the way news channel or whatever.
This morning. Let him speak. So let's get right to it, because R. Kelly is breaking his silence about the sexual abuse charges that landed him in jail last month. The embattled R&B singer spoke with GAYLE for nearly 80 minutes yesterday. It is an interview that you will see only on CBS this morning, and he says all the women now accusing him of physical and sexual abuse, he says all of them. Welcome to CBS this morning. We're going to begin with your big explosive interview with R. Kelly. Wow.
He had a lot to get off his chest.
Okay. And you notice how when it comes to people of color, we'll just use that term. When it comes to people of color, they usually take people of color to go out in the field and do the work. And they use people of color to do the interviews. It's all just the way they do things. I'm not telling you that it means one thing or the other. I just see patterns and I see things and I just see what I see. And notice that these, and if you, okay, sorry. Okay, I told you I wasn't going there. If you notice, all these girls got something to say. The dude barely got nothing to see. He probably think that this shit can happen to him one day. Because I think that we'll be all surprised to see who really run things. Or think they're about to start running things. in Hollywood. So what's she gonna say? Let's see.
We're going to begin with your big explosive interview with R. Kelly. Wow.
He had a lot to get off his chest. He actually said he welcomed the opportunity to speak. And boy, did we let him speak.
And everybody has switched their channels and turned on to us to see it this morning.
We let him speak.
So let's get right to it, because R. Kelly is breaking his silence about the sexual abuse charges that landed him in jail last month. The embattled R&B singer spoke with GAYLE for nearly 80 minutes yesterday. It is an interview that you will see only on CBS this morning, and he says all the women now accusing him of physical and sexual abuse, he says all of them are lying.
That's what he says. Chicago prosecutors have charged Kelly with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. Authorities say 3 of the 4 alleged victims were underage when the suspected crimes happened. Now, Kelly has pleaded not guilty. Sources tell CBS News federal and state authorities in at least 2 states, New York, members of his inner circle.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Surviving R. Kelly featured interviews with 7 accusers and former members of his.
And if you think that this is a so-called female, she got that same kind of raspy, kind of jaggedy voice like GAYLE and the rest of these people. If you think this is what you think or who you think it is, you better think again. I think y'all need to go back and read Genesis chapter 2 in the Bible. Somewhere along the lines of chapter 2, verse 18. I'm just got the book open right now and I'm just looking. And that, just read the whole damn thing. Just read Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. And when we say, and let's just say it real quick. When it says, then God said, let us make a man one like ourselves. Or that's the Living Translation. Let me go back to the King James. And let us make a man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air. Oh, and a lot, the way I interpret some of this stuff, when I look a little bit deeper, it just kind of brings me back, because I told you I think Genesis more has something to do with earlier times of just like the first. It's hard to put into terms. We'll just go back to when they had family crescents, and when they had certain animals representing their family lines and bloodlines of the royals and, you know, other families or whatever, the rich families and different families around the world. And think about like China, they got the dragon, you know, I think it was England, they had the unicorn, which is a beast of the field. And you got the fowl of the air when it comes to America. So all the whole time you thinking that we really talking about certain things in this whole chapter that just come to light differently to me nowadays. And I've been on this up and down this for a while now, and nobody's going to be able to change my mind about what I see. So, yeah, create him in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. I've gone over that scripture so many times. And then it says, be blessed, and God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. When I told you before, when we talk about the earth, a lot of times we talk about the people of the earth. And if you want to replenish something, that means you go and take the thing that you have and you're going to replenish. That means something was already there and he wants you to replenish. So we got to question which God we think we talking about, that he's talking about you or what in this book. And when I tell you that shit is deep, it's real deep.
Circle. They all say that Kelly preys on vulnerable women and young girls. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that you agreed to do it. Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things, and and the time out.
Let me tell you, he's there because they told his ass to be there. Same reason why 2 hours after he did this interview, the family was already there doing a press conference because they told them to be there. Because all this is a distraction. Again, remember that. Always remember it. See how these people operate. See how they work.
All of them. Got little girls trapped in the basement, helicopters over my house, trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescue. At the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. Mm-hmm. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer.
Okay, now this part right here, how he's saying everybody was saying something bad, they never said nothing good. Okay, like I said, I think that he is guilty of messing around with young women, but when it comes to that documentary and you do research into who the producer was and you go back into a couple things a little bit deeper, you have to look at these things a little bit differently. It's something like doing investigation research, and it's not because I give a damn again about these people. It's because I care about you guys, and I want more people to wake up and see with their own eyes, not because I'm telling you what's going on. Because this is the only way that we're going to be able to break free from a lot of these things that are over us as a people. And that's just people, humanity, period. But mainly the earth, the people of the earth, the Aborigine, the copper color races, the dark people, the original people of the earth. We still don't know where everybody else came from. Pretty sure they know, but they've given us perception that we don't really know where so-called other races came from, like so-called white people. That's the perception that they've given us, so I can't really say much more. But
I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife. Kitty Jones. Lisa Van Allen. Lisette Martinez. Geronda Pace. Faith Rogers. Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you? That you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress. Why would all these women tell these different stories about you?
And why would all these women just keep coming back? And why would these women hear about this and go back again? And why would they even stay? And you can just go on and on and on and on and on and on. A lot of this stuff is made up, is piled up on something that is a little bit disturbing already. And these things are piled up accusations, and how she had to drag the whole thing out and name all the names of the people and do all this other stuff. It's just too much for TV. It really is.
Not true. And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that.
And what he's saying is true.
To do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
Listen. Oh, and here it is again. There go that gold and that blue and that navy blue. But the power of social media. What he's saying is a fact. See, and that's the thing. I don't care who you are, whatever. I really don't personally give a damn about no R. Kelly. But what I'm saying is when somebody says something that makes a lot of sense, that could be possibly true, you shouldn't throw that whole person away with the thing that they're saying. And what I think he's trying to do is low key, because he don't want to look like a monster, and he don't want his whole legacy wiped down, flushed down the toilet. He know he did some fucked up shit. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to reach the people over the whole system or the whole construct without getting himself into too much trouble, to kind of play with our heartstrings and let us know, just don't let this mess up my legacy and all this other stuff like this or whatever. And I feel him on that, but I think that we waking up on another level, and none of that is really going to matter. You didn't dance with the devil, and here we are.
In 2008, R. Kelly was found not guilty on 14 counts of child pornography after prosecutors in Chicago failed to convince a jury that he was a man seen in a sex tape with a girl as young as 13.
What do you want to say to your fans?
Yeah.
Last month.
Okay, see? Here we go again. You got that red and blue and white. And I think, yeah, that's what I think he was doing too. Red, blue, and white. And then here you go with the yellow coat, the blue, the black. I'm just starting to see it now. And that's the thing. We're supposed to be leaning on to the understand. I mean, we're supposed to be looking towards each other at this time, because people can say something that will bring you all the way into another level. People with these numbers, with these signs, with these with the colors and stuff like that. Like he said, a lot of I noticed already before that a lot of these staged events and a lot of these other crimes and stuff that's put up on a platform for us to see, you'll always note, like shootings and stuff like that. You'll always notice purple, and you'll always notice these women wearing pearls. And most of these people be having some red hair and be having all this other stuff, but they got pearls on their neck. And I think that has some, I was looking into, because I saw one like around the corner from my house, an Eastern Star Freemason something temple. And looking more into this, I'm starting to see that there's a branch of Masons or Freemasons called the Eastern Star, or a secret society called the Eastern Stars. And some people say that Kanika Martin's mom was one, and things like that or whatever. But you'll notice that these ladies, after these so-called crimes happen and they do their interviews, they'll have their hair dyed some kind of color, like she had blonde, and there'll be certain things like they'll be wearing purple and stuff like that. So
Kelly was indicted again, this time charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse of 4.
Okay, I don't want to go
and be scorned and allow me.
Mm-hmm. So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That looked fake right there to me. But, I mean, I'm just calling it what it is. It looked pretty fake to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
how stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be?
Same thing with Bill Cosby. Same thing. And I want, and if you got time, go ahead and pull up that mug shot. I mean, that shot of all of his accusers put together, Bill Cosby. Go ahead and look at that shot. They got all them women, in that shot when they put them all together, and they show you kind of like what they look like. All them women. I'm not saying that he didn't do those things or some of those things, because they usually do drugged, or they do it freely for to be able to move up or get a certain thing. You know, just like politicians do dirty shit to get bills passed and moved and get things moved around, and same thing it goes when it goes to these celebrities.
Do that.
I didn't say you were holding.
That's stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense.
And that all makes sense to me. So regardless of what I think he did, what he didn't do, ain't none of my business. I don't want nothing to do with Hollywood. I don't want to go to a concert. Never did. I don't want nothing to do with them people. I wouldn't even want to be close to a celebrity at this point in time in my life because I don't trust it, if you know what I mean. So, but what he's saying is absolutely true. Use common sense. And I hope that he's trying to, I don't know exactly where these celebrities lie when it comes to them breaking out of mind control. When it comes to Kanye West, sometimes I'm on the fence with him. I'm on the fence because he says some stuff like that, you know, like in that movie Get Out, like a little piece of him just slipped in, but then it got pulled right back out. So I don't know if that's done on purpose to deceive us or to make us see something a certain way, or if that's actually what happened. So, but like I said right now, what he's saying is really true. It really is.
Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel.
And Gayle looked bothered.
Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle. Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
And fighting for his life. I don't know. Why would he say that? Why would he? I mean, we only really talking about, I mean, I guess it's his life, but the way that he said it to me kind of sound like he fighting for his real life. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of times I look at these situations and I look like, what is it that the industry wants from him that he don't want to do? Because a lot of these people, I think they get to a certain point with all these sacrifices and with all these other things and these rituals that they have to do to move higher up. And a lot of times they go into the woodworks to pull these celebrities. This is my thinking. They pull these celebrities out of hiding, and they're going to use them for something. Whether it's just going to be like, you're going to do this, or this is going to be your downfall because you're at the point where we really don't need you no more anyways, so we need you to do this. And if the person has a little bit of heart, because I just don't know 100% who we dealing with or what we dealing with when we talking about these celebrities. So imagine that being you, and you done all these things, and you kind of just want to live your life and do these things that you want to do, whether it's him having young girls as girlfriends. I'm not saying younger than 18, but hey, to each his own. If a girl 18, she want to date him, and if she 18 and whatever, people can do what they want to do. It's legal. That's what they can do. I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying that this is what they're able to do. Lost track of what I was saying. Let's go ahead.
This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
And you notice a lot of people, after they go in a breakdown like this or something like this happens, a lot of these people do actually die of some kind of suspicious thing or in their bed. You know how celebrities always die in their bathtub or in their bathroom in the midnight hours, or they was rushed to that particular hotel. I mean, not hotel, but, or it was in a hotel, or they were rushed to that particular hospital that most of these celebrities go to, and then they die or whatever, which is said to have different facilities in there for MK Ultra and reprogramming. And they always say something about going into therapy. Like people that pay attention to what's going on ain't seeing that you talking about some kind of rewiring, which is what I think happened to Wendy Williams. I think she was trying to get out of some kind of something going on with her, and then when she did when she fainted and when she blanked out and all that other crazy shit, and she actually had to go in to get whatever services they needed to give to her, and they always call it rehab, but I'm starting to think that's just not what it is.
I got 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to
let the camera keep rolling. This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotion...
And I do believe that. I believe that something happened where he didn't want to... He enjoys these girls, obviously. His face lights up when you're talking about little young girls. I mean, I'm just saying what I'm saying. His face lights up when he's talking about his little girlfriends. That's young, but of age, but they're still damn young to me. And they got him caught up. It's got them all set up, and this is what they're trying to do. And it's kind of sad, but hey, he knew what he signed up for.
Destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped. He's forgiving them.
And another thing, Gayle keep touching her face and doing this stuff. I don't know if there's some kind of signs or something that he might be getting out of hand or something, but it might be speaking too much because she got real kind of fidgety when he said something about there's real young girls out there. And this is another thing that I wanted to bring to, this is another reason why I wanted to do this video, because when he says this, that's kind of like, I know what you do to little kids, right? If I was R. Kelly and I know what you do, I know what my manager or my producers behind my back do with little kids. I ain't down with that. I don't do that. But as R. Kelly, I do like 15-year-old girls, and I might have got caught with a 13-year-old girl and married a 15-year-old girl, supposedly. But now I learned my lesson. And because I don't really want to deal with these people and I'm out of the limelight, let me just stick with girls that have to be 18. And I'm going to still do what I'm going to do with these girls or whatever. So industry come back to you and tell you, hey, we need you to do this or something like this. And it's something you don't want them to do, whether it's to give up one of your kids to the industry or to one of these people for whatever, whether it's to do some kind of ritual or something. You just want to be to yourself and do your thing with your girlfriends or whatever. And you know this fool got kids locked up in their basement and drink baby's blood for dinner. And they got you because they have the power, they have the perception of the people, they have the minds of the people, and they have the power, and they have the power of social media and all these other things, and the news channels and the platforms that they can rip you up and make you look. I think Malcolm X said it best. Something about how they can make a good man look bad and a bad man look good. This is the thing that we've come to today. So you're going to try to put me on the spotlight, and now I'm feeling these emotions because I see y'all trying to tear me down. And I want to say so bad what you doing. So now he's bringing up the fact that there is real little girls tied up in basements and stuff like that. But Gayle get all discombobulated because I think she think that he's about to go into kind of lose his mind and really open up and spill the beans. And so she get a little bit fidgety. But what he's saying, when he's looking at that camera, I think he's talking to us, but he's talking to those people too.
Because my heart is so big. People betray me and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing...
To help me not have a big...
Okay.
I need help.
What kind of help?
Wait.
And I'm buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting.
Okay, hold on.
Young girls out there being abducted.
Oh, wait. Let's get to it.
Mothers and fathers told me. Robert. It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted.
That's true.
Being raped. Okay? That's really
true.
Are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists.
Look
and
where
they
her
can't
feet
get
is.
out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly. You do. When I listen to you, it does sound like truth. You're playing the victim.
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional...
And she trying to piss him off. But I'm feeling what he's saying. He probably got a big heart. And like I said, they probably want him to do something that's going to do something to people, and he just don't want no parts of it. He just want to be left alone. And That's just what I'm getting from it. I really believe him in some of these parts, but don't make it right. But I'm just saying, when somebody's speaking something, it's their truth. It's their truth, whether you like the person or not.
I apologize for that. It's because this is the first time I was able to say something. I've said nothing.
Gayle, you remained tough and calm throughout that.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't do any good if we both got hysterical, or if we both got very emotional. And you could see, he felt that in his mind everybody's lying. I said, but there's so many people.
I know this video long, y'all.
What was he like before the interview? Because you didn't really know him that well.
No, I don't. I mean, in fairness, he didn't rant for the whole hour and a half, but he got very emotional several times. I met him maybe. I wanted to say, we're going to give you a platform to say whatever you want to say. It's no secret that he lives at Trump Tower in Chicago. So we went to his apartment there. And
that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny because it seemed like people, when Kanye went to Trump to go speak to him about whatever, he was going through a breakdown and his hair was dyed blonde and stuff. And, you know, he went to go see Trump and for help or whatever. And it's the funny thing that now we finding out that R. Kelly live at Trump Tower and he's looking at that camera like he need help. Who he need help from? Is this another person that might need help? Not that Trump is helping anybody and not that I give a damn about Trump. I'm just telling y'all. I don't care about none. I've detached myself from this particular type of shit. Politics, all of it. So I don't see, I'm not saying that Trump is a help or anything, but I'm just saying it's just funny how these black men that have breakdowns like he just had on that show and they're asking for help and they both have something to do with Trump. All I'm saying.
Had a conversation and you walk into his apartment. There's a big welcome home. There's a Christmas tree that he keeps up all year long since his mother died back in 1993. He's very close to his mother, Mrs.
I don't know how he gonna keep 50 people up in that damn small ass apartment.
Very much because it was her favorite holiday.
Sorry, I need to get
so he keeps the Christmas tree up all year long. It was like 90 degrees in there because he was resting his voice. He said he was...
Again, he lost his mom. Another person, another so-called black man that lost his mom, that went through a breakdown, that's dealing with Trump.
Singing later.
But what he is accused of is dastardly.
Exactly.
Raping young girls repeatedly over decades. Mm-hmm. And I think...
I mean, if it's been going on over decades, why now? Why now? I'm just saying, why now? You just had to ask yourself these questions. Why now? What do you want from black people right now? What so-called black people, which is really the American Indian in most cases. What do you want now? What do you want from R. Kelly now? Because I'm pretty sure he's had publicists and he had people around him over the years that could have told, or these girls could have reached out to and said something to get out of this. Come on, man.
You did, Gayle, was allow him to tell his story and to see, though, his behavior, his temperament is, I think, what is probably...
Temperament. See, and it's always one of these that start, you know, she in the wrong, they all in the wrong because I don't fuck with what they work with. But it's always one of these that got stuff like that to say.
What is most revealing of this interview as well, the pounding of the fist, the getting up.
The pounding of the fist. Bitch, get out of here. Get out. And this is what I'm saying. The fact that they're playing on this, they know he's emotional. They're going to play on that. He ended up getting out of hand. Now they're going to use this as an attempt to say, oh, you know, he's having it, or he killed himself because he couldn't take it, or it's going to be something else. Y'all watch.
Worried about you. I was actually worried about you when I saw that.
Why are you worried about her? She wasn't worried about her. She was close still. She had her feet all up on his ankles. Why you worried about her? Why you worried? See, why you work with this all up in her neck? With this all up in her neck.
Well, it's funny. Favorite son, favorite daughter, and Oprah all called me and
Look
said,
at
were you
all
afraid?
up
Did
in
you
her
think
neck.
he was going to hit you? I actually never thought that. I think that I thought I might get accidentally clobbered, but I didn't think that he would deliberately try to hurt me. I never felt in danger talking to him. I just felt that he had a lot of emotion he wanted to release.
And I think Gayle feel bad a little bit because she know what the hell going on. And she's seen a little bit of real coming out in him. So a little bit of real is coming out in her right now. She knows. She worked for them too. She worked for them too. Okay. Let's see. I know this video is long. I'm sorry, y'all. But I just wanted to get it all done so I ain't got to come back to it.
If there's nothing going on, if there's no problems and she's in a consensual, loving relationship with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly,
who put this dude's
she could
sideburns
speak
on?
To her two younger sisters.
Okay, that was wrong.
Her
I ain't gonna say that, y'all. Stop.
Her aunts,
just act like I ain't
her
saying
uncles, her immediate family. We are in a battle to make sure that she is not a victim.
Am I the only one probably can't take him serious because of this? These people could I'm not saying they are. I'm always keep saying that because I don't want y'all coming at me like that. Because I see something differently. When I get a little bit, I mean, once y'all get to know me a little bit, you'll know where I'm coming from.
Including his last
I've been doing research on staged events. I have I woke up to staged events when I fell so hard for Sandra Bland and I fell so hard for these other people, and then come to find out that it was something else after the Kanika thing. So I'm not being malicious when I'm saying these things.
Whom we sent a letter directly to in January. We have received no confirmation from anyone associated with Robert Sylvester Kelly, whether the record to remain clear that at no point did Tim and Johnson Savage ever request, ever demand, ever receive any financial compensation from Robert Sylvester Kelly. We also have proof.
Okay. What? Wait a minute. See, because I ain't looked at none of these girls. I ain't looked into the case at all. I really ain't paying no attention to that. I was just pulling up this thing because a lot of this stuff can be telling to people that don't see. Why have we even talking about this kind of case? Is this little girl even here? Why this little girl even here when we talking about whatever we talking about? Second of all, if you think, look, remember the girl on the news channel we just watched? I got something where I'm about to bring up bone structure for between the male and the female, the anatomy of the male and the female, transgenders after the surgery, ones that's already completed the surgery, and so on. I'm just getting my stuff together. If you think that this is what you think it is right here, or who you think it is, you better think again. First of all, what is this? Second of all, a female jawline go smoothly into her ear, the bottom of her ear goes smoothly into the jawline. We don't have this L-shaped sharpness right here on the jaw. Look at that jaw on this little bodied person, this small frame person with this big head. You've been taught this. You've been shown it in Hollywood so much. You think that this is what a woman. Look at these hands. I got big hands. I'm a bone. What'd you call it? A big boned woman. Okay, but on this small frame here, this should not be allowed. This is not allowed because genetics says it can't be, because anatomy says it can't be. Again, there you go. Right there. You could put a whole bunch of hair on anything and you still ain't gonna get it. And I have nothing against people doing whatever they want to do. But I don't think that it's okay for us to be deceived on the platform that we are being deceived on a large scale of this mass deception. I think that's wrong. I think, they shouldn't be playing with people's emotions like this.
An American Airlines ticket for one of the individuals that we believe is being held against her will, that was dated on April. Prove exact.
I got some things to do.
I can't see her because I feel like she's being controlled by someone that
they're gonna bring this baby on here.
I want to know. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop right here, y'all, because I gotta go get my door. I'm gonna do a part 2. I promise it's only gonna be short. We're just gonna look at this real quick. I'm gonna do a part 2. I'll be right back.